What are some common mistakes we all make on AIP? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome to Adamimmune, the channel devoted to autoimmune health. Today I wanted to share with you the most common mistakes that we all make on AIP, and yes, I have fell victim to every one of these. Let's get started. Number 1. Treating AIP like it's any other diet. AIP is not a traditional diet. It doesn't allow for cheat days and the occasional favorite treat. In order to be successful at AIP, the Autoimmune Paleo diet, you gotta make it a lifestyle. If this seems a little bit overwhelming, that's probably because it is. It was for me in the beginning, and I know it is for most people when they start out too. If this seems just like it's a little bit too much for you right now, just do regular paleo. Regular paleo is a great diet, and I recommend it for most people, and it allows for a little bit of flexibility. But if your autoimmune disorders are as bad as mine were, and your symptoms are pretty bad, eventually you're going to want to transition into full AIP, if you want complete remission. Yes, it is possible, I did it, and I'm nothing special, I promise. Number 2, change only your diet. Now, changing your diet, it's going to get you pretty far alone, but there's a few other things that you got to take into consideration. Sleep patterns, stress, and exercise. Finding the right balance between these three and diet is crucial for healing. I do want to say that I believe diet is 90% though, but if you can master that, everything else will fall into place naturally, eventually. I really believe that. Number 3, not listening to your body. Your body will speak to you. Listen to it. You weren't meant to be in pain all the time. I know you've gotten used to it over the years, but that's just because your body's resilient. You shouldn't have to be that strong, not all the time. So if you know if certain food causes a bad reaction, just avoid it. Put it on your avoid list and don't eat it. But Adam, gluten is in everything. Yeah, I know. It is. And so is everything else that you're supposed to not be eating. I'm sorry. I know it's tough. But guess what? You are smart. And it's amazing what you can accomplish when you put your mind to something. 100%. Also, it's not unheard of that even an AIP compliant food will cause a trigger. So be careful and listen to your body. Number 4, not replacing your nutrients. The first thing you're going to do with this diet is completely eliminate tons of food. And most people go into survival mode right after this. They eat just the foods that they believe are safe and nothing else for a long time. And I know why. I've been there. I've done this. I remember early on mainly eating just meat for quite a while, and this really isn't smart. Life is about balance. Aim to get plenty of leafy greens, some root vegetable, and your healthy meat and fats. You don't have to eat a variety of these foods. You can eat just one at the beginning. Eventually you're gonna rotate your foods in like I do and have a large circle of foods. But right now, just stick to at least one of these. But make sure you get at least one, because you need these. You need the nutrients in these foods. Number 5, rushing the phases of AIP. Theoretically, let's say someone starts the first phase of AIP, the elimination phase, and they cut out a few foods and they see some progress. They see some healing. So they think, oh, I guess I'm in remission now. But eventually, they don't see full healing. In fact, things start to just stay the same. It's easy to blame the diet. It's easy to blame people and food and our disease. Oh, I guess I'm just too messed up. I'm too damaged to heal. But the truth is, this was me, and I didn't follow the protocol. If I would have, this wouldn't have happened. On the flip side of this, I made the other mistake of rushing reintros. I added in too many foods too quickly. It's a recipe for disaster, and it was bad. It took me twice as long to find all my triggers because of this. Also because I didn't keep a food diary. You want to do that as well. Patience really is a virtue. Number 6. Okay, I'm guilty. I've been on the verge of fainting for months. Not right now, but when I started this. It's scary, I know, and I know a lot of people deal with this every day. I also know the feeling of dread that you have every time you go for a new bite of food. You know, not knowing if that food is going to cause you a week's worth of pain and suffering, the mental anguish of blaming yourself after. It's horrible. I get why people develop a food disorder. It's easy to do. But sometimes you just have to stare fear in the face and eat. You have to do it every day. Now, I don't recommend going super low calorie. A 500 calorie deficiency every day is totally fine, but when you start going up and you're eating about 700 to 800 calories every day, you're gonna have a problem. As soon as you start eating normally, which you inevitably will, all that weight will come back on, and probably even more so. A lot of people experience this all the time, because when you're not eating a lot, your metabolism is slowed down, and it's really hard to get it back up where it needs to be. And by eating, that's about the only way you can do that. And exercise. Number 7, not being prepared. Being on the go and staying AIP compliant it's a pretty big challenge. I don't really travel too much, but when I do go out of town, I just cook about 2 days worth of food. I store it in a container. You know, I put all the food together. Not the frozen spinach, I take that along with me, my steamable bagged vegetables. It keeps the food cool on the way there. And then I can just microwave it wherever I end up. Oh look, Adam brought his bucket of food. Sorry guys, I get real lazy on the weekends. Number 8, complacency. Sometimes I get halfway through cooking dinner when I finally look at the ingredients label and lo and behold, it's got a trigger food in it. Yep. So whenever you're going to the store, make sure you always check the food labels, even if you think it's a whole food. Complacency is more than just labels though. It's a natural progression that happens to all of us. We develop this false sense of security that makes us feel like we're okay. You know, we've been doing this for a while and not having a reaction. But truth is, danger is around every aisle. So stay vigilant. Now we all are going to make mistakes every now and then. God knows I make them all the time. And that's okay. It's going to happen. Just know it and be prepared for it when it does. And when it does happen, don't beat yourself up about it. Keep moving forward. If you've been down this road before, I urge you to please give AIP another chance. You can do it. And remember, I'm doing it every single day, right alongside you, and I will be for the rest of my life. I'm not going back to the way things were before. Not a chance. This has been the 8 common mistakes that we all make on AIP, especially me. Don't make me feel like I'm the only one. Comment below on the mistakes that you've made on this list, or maybe some new ones if I didn't write it down. I probably missed a few. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, smash that subscribe button if you haven't before, and share the video. You never know who might be suffering in silence. I know I was for a long time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.